I am in I am in Costa Rica, and you see the jungle behind me. And usually we have monkeys and all kinds of animals in there, toucans and so on. So we are out here. We live here actually, and we're doing fine. And the world, everybody knows the big thing happening here. So everybody's thinking, okay, good side, bad side. We gotta fight it. We gotta surrender. We're gonna be positive. We're gonna, fight for our lives. All these different angles and that we are talking about. So I'm kind of pondering what I can add to humanity today. And what comes to my mind is thinking back like 100 or 200, 500 years ago. People, and even today in many parts of the world, people are mostly were mostly dependent on food, and housing. So they were all busy doing the living, and that took all that time. And then, like 80 years ago, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, even with the breath work modalities coming in, life changed, and in many places we had enough food and living, and we had extra time. So with that extra time, we started to look for something more important in life than food and housing, even though food and housing and health is fundamental. But once that is set, then there was a deeper urge inside the human being of finding out on who am I, what is life all about, and all that stuff. And then the breathwork with Leonardo and all of us in the breathwork world, we explored and found a lot, especially in the beginnings of the 70s and the 80s and maybe 90s. Through breathwork, we touched God inside us, and we did that because we did a breathing modality that I today call natural breathing, that I originally learned from Leonardo and Sonda Ray and so on. So with that breathing, we were able to erase or open up areas that we had mislearned about life from birth. For example, birth, then we have some traumas, and growing up, we had some accidents, we had this and that, and misunderstanding, mislearning, and all of that came on top of us, and we got stuck with it. We couldn't see beyond it. And then we did the breathing, and poof, many of these things were gone, were taken away, and what was left after was this sense of meaningful life, and remarkably. And then what it seems to come to today, that the search or the hunger for knowing more about who we are got a little twisted. We got into doing breath work in a way that is helpful for panic, for trauma, for issues. Breath work that helped us out of a current time discomfort. So I'm feeling discomfort right now, and then if I do what I call that breathing snack, but many people have many ways of doing this particular breathing snack. It is a short time of breathing that will get us grounded into the now. And that is very, very important, especially now when we are freaking out, when we're feeling bad or panicking, then it's really good. But it does not have the same effect like doing a full session, because what we're doing now with the breathing snack is we are getting present, but we are not releasing our misconceptions in the first place. So I don't want to replace this, and after our panic is gone, or even now, many people might not have panic. Well, you might still have the urge to go out and find a deeper level of you. So I'm talking to two different situations here that can coexist, or take one in turn for the other. We need to have food, health, and housing. Once we have that, then the urge for finding out more about ourselves shows up. So I propose we do a breathing snack now together. It's going to take like 30 seconds, okay? And it's a breathing snack that I suggest, and you might have other ways to do that. Let's see if you can try this way. And it's really just doing the start of a breathing session, but only a short time. And if you do the start of the breathing session powerfully, then you get effect in 30 seconds. And then, obviously, we don't want to go further, because then we get into a full session, and that's not the purpose right now. So the breathing snack, actually on the naturalbreathing.com, you have a full explanation and video and everything on how to do it. But we'll do it here together also. So you're going to breathe through your mouth. You're going to breathe into your chest. You're going to breathe more than you're inclined to. You're going to huff and puff and build up some energy, and then I will tell you, and then just let go. Okay? So you can follow me. I would suggest you do that. Just follow my rhythm and my depth. Not little birdie breathing like, oh, I think I'm a survivor. No, really go for some passion in life. Okay? So follow me now. It's okay to cough, and then you bring yourself back again. It's like jogging breathing. And already now I start to feel tingling in my body, energized in my body. So if you feel that, you can start to back off. You feel a little dizzy, and you feel a little high. And you stay with that for a second. And you notice there is a lot of sensations here. And it's sensations of peace, of being. So the panic, the trauma, the fear of the virus, and all the things that we came here to talk about, at this moment it wasn't here. So the breathing actually happens, helps in daily life. And you probably noticed if you're fighting with somebody verbally, and you just stop and take a few breaths and come back, well, and then you can't remember what you were fighting about. So the breathing snack is important for temporary taking care of, being able to be present now. So, hopefully from my point of view, later on we can go back to the more profound way of looking at life, and researching life and researching who we are, which is what I feel like Leonard Orr was not feel like. That's what I learned from him. I learned from him two fundamental universal laws. And one is breath work, natural breathing, breath work will erase your subconsciousness and open yourself up to your God self. Number one. Number two is thought is creative. Well, thought is creative doesn't mean thought is creative sometimes. It is or it isn't. And for me, it is. It always was. So whatever mind idea about how to live and um, techniques to evolve, techniques to lead ourselves and other people. Techniques are made by thinking. So if you get an idea about a technique, then that's what you got. That becomes your path of doing it, which is sometimes very wonderful. Sometimes some techniques are limiting, and they will be the particular reality of the person who have the belief, and there might be a more profound way of looking at the belief or looking at the topic. So we each of us have to investigate that for ourselves. And in my heart, in my temperament, it just come to me like I feel like I don't know where I come from. I don't know really who I am. I have witnessed myself living, and it's a miracle. Life is a miracle, and I have a life force. So I have the idea that life promotes life. Life is health. Life is abundance. Life is not lack. Life is not a problem. So going back to trusting life. Of course, now the virus is here, panic. Okay, then we do a breathing snack. You can do as many as you want. You can do 20 in an hour. But when the energy start to build, then back off a little bit, because then the peak is already gone for the moment. And going deeper, you cannot do that way. You have to give it the full attention to do that. So trusting that life already made everything perfect, and my ideas about how to make it better is actually a bad idea. So I've been researching and what is life, how is life supporting me in health in every way, and since me are into breath work, how is the breath doing that? Well, observing our life all the time. That's why I call it natural breathing. Natural breathing happens here and there when we get out of the way, when we don't have thoughts, when we catch ourselves off guard and not having preconceived ideas of what should happen. For example, you're in front of the TV at night, the day of the work is over, and now you can relax, or any other situation. And at that moment, you take a sigh, or you yawn. Well, your breathing changed. Or when you're jogging, your breathing changes. So identifying, I see a pattern in the breathing, that the breathing, what I call natural breathing, it takes a form by itself. And that form that it takes is actually what I interpret that Leonardo taught in the beginning. And that's what, so it fits to me that those two work. So yes, copying that is the most powerful way to get the breathing. But at this moment today, we are so concerned with the panic, the virus and all the other ideas around it and this and that. So we might not have the space to go into, to go that deep. And then we can just get ourselves out, number one, get out of the panic by doing a breathing snack or whatever. It's really a distraction. You know, oh, help! And then you breathe like that, and oh, now what? So it's a distraction from the panic, which is very good, and the breathing is a very good tool to that. Now, the other part that can actually be used today in connection with the panic, the virus, and all that, how a way that can help us out of the panic. We have the breathing, but not to even go into the panic. So that comes to the second universal law that we all breath workers have, I presume that we learn from Leonard, and so on, is thought is creative. Now, so what you think becomes what you perceive. You will witness something in a different way than somebody else will witness the same thing, because we look from a different point of view. We look from a different belief, a different thinking. So the thinking is very important. So bottom line is, what you look at, what you think about, is what you will see. Makes sense, no? So I will see this, and what I see is what I've been looking for. Now, so now we want to have a good world, bring a good world to us, to live healthy and happy and compassionate and taking, including people and the human family and so on. So having that attitude is good, but it's not so easy. So a practice to be able to bring that into our daily life now. So I'm practicing a new thinking for a result that I want to have. So I'm choosing a thought, and we all know this as affirmations. So I live in a peaceful, healthy world. That is what my thought is, my affirmation. Now, there is a more profound way to master the thinking process. It's still mastering the thinking process, and in humanity, the way we have learned it, the next step of affirmation is realizing that what we call thinking actually have two parts. Thinking is not thinking. Thinking starts with a question, and then comes the answers. So how can I create a healthy world? That's a question. Oh, I can make an affirmation. I now live in a healthy world. But you wouldn't have that affirmation unless you had a question before. So the question, without your effort, came up with an answer like that. And if you ask the question again, how can I live in a healthy world? Well, then there'll be more answers and more answers without any effort on your part, like going to Google. You ask a question, and you sit back and you wait, and there are millions of answers. If you can put your energy on the question, the affirmations, and many of them automatically shows up. Now, the world is then based on questions, but unfortunately we only ask bad questions. The car, you go and start your car, it doesn't start, and you go, why isn't my car starting? Now, next day you fix your car, you go out, you start your car starts. You don't ask, why is my car starting? It's like the CNN mind. So we are addicted to negative questions. So this is what we need to take control over, to choose affirmative questions, not limiting questions, opening up questions. And in my vocabulary, I call those creative questions. They are specific questions. And with the answer built in questions, so why am I healthy? You cannot answer, well, you're not. Well, that doesn't answer the question. Why am I healthy? Well, there are so many other people. Well, that doesn't answer the question either. Why am I healthy? And then you go, oh my God. And it takes a little time to pierce through the addiction of the old question, which is, why is the world so unhealthy? So we need to pierce through the addiction of the old question and to implant the new question. They will switch roles, and the new question will come in there and become your new life. So I think in our time now, specific, the virus, the panic, the trouble, we can help. We can use creative questions as a tool to open our mind, and You might have about health, or you might have fear. Why, what happened tomorrow? Something is going to, so that's an open-ended question that is stalling panic. So why am I safe? Why am I safe? What makes me safe? And some of you might be aware of the physical immortality. Yeah, you go to the why am I safe? Why can I trust? And as long as I am safe, I will be safe. So why am I safe? And in the law of attraction that we have, you need to vibrate with the frequency that you want to accomplish. You're already vibrating with the frequency that you are accomplishing, but if you want to change your results, you need to change your frequency. The questions does that. The why questions get your mind on track, and if you put it into a feeling question, how do I feel when I feel healthy? How do I feel when I feel healthy? You start to feel it. It starts to become an experience for you. That is how you open up your frequency to vibrate, and your world start to change its vibration around you too. Excuse me. So these are my two ideas of today. Gifts, I hope. That you feel out of control, I don't know what to do, take a breathing snack. And when you feel, I feel safe now, I feel good now, then choose a creative question. And if you go to creativequestions.com, you can learn a lot more about creative questions. It's quite phenomenal, if you ask me. So why is what's happening on the world now a good thing? Instead of us running into the supermarkets, me, I need to buy the toilet paper, and going into that panic, frantic. So we go back, why am I safe? Why can I trust my fellow human beings? Why are we here on the planet? Why can't we support each other? Why do I care? They come with the creative questions, because you might say, what happens if I care? Well, then the answer can be good, bad. That's not a creative question. So it has to be very specific, that there is only one way to do that. We actually have an app that gives you 52 most important parts of our life, qualities of our life, and give you suggestions of really good questions in there, so you don't have to figure it out yourself too much.